I had completely lost control of my body and my mind, and I felt so much shame needing to take pharmaceuticals. I started out thinking that I could man this one out, as they say, where I was going to be able to deal with the anxiety and the depression and the joint pain and the anger. I was going to be able to do it myself because I've always been able to do everything myself. And then I felt a lot of shame from my culture and the women around me for caving in to needing pharmaceuticals. And I had completely lost control of my body and my mind, and I felt so much shame needing to take pharmaceuticals. But you know, near hospitalization several times from depression and real suicidal ideation kind of changed that game for me, and not listen to a lot of real crap that's on the internet, the Suzanne Summers, the Goop, all the stuff that's telling me if I buy this, I'm gonna feel so much better. So I ended up really working towards helping myself, starting with pharmaceuticals, not ending with it. It's not a stomach pain, it was a wrap all the way around my stomach, and it was a compression. So I was having these muscle contractions that were so bad, I thought I was having a heart attack. And this would come and go about every 6 months. Probably happened about 5 times. And my friend, the doctor, came over next door. Like, I really did think I was dying. I guess what happened was I eventually was told by someone that it's in my head. It was all in my head. And I thought, there's no way going to the hospital and being triaged and put into the front of the line. There's no way that's all in my head. And so I ended up on a bunch of painkillers, which I thought was pretty bad. And I still have it to remind myself. So I have a thing of hydromorphone, which I don't even know what that is. It's so strong. And I have morphine left. I have some major painkillers left. The fellow who was treating me at the time said, you need to go and see my sister. She is a registered psychiatrist. She's actually able to prescribe, and she does a bunch of science out at UBC. So we did a work on cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and I had this incredible experience that made me feel so much more powerful, which was, one of these was coming on in a car, and I had my children in the car with me, and if I let it go, we were going to drive off the road on the highway. And my daughter looked at me, she said, Mom, is it happening again? And I said, yeah, it is. And yeah, I couldn't pull over, there was nowhere to pull over. And I literally said to myself, no, this is not going to happen. No, you stop now. This stops right now, it stops forever. I'm not having this happen to me. This cannot control my life. And I know this sounds really strange, but it never came back after that. It was a fascinating experience with therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, where painkillers were useless. I guess when I say that I don't like the woo and the non-science stuff, there's absolutely room for accepting the possibility that there's something happening in your mind, and it's not that you're crazy or stupid or bad or any negative things. We do know that 60% of menopause symptoms from Brinton 2015, if you want to read the science paper, they are in your head, but they're chemically induced from your head. They're not you just being crazy or silly. So the more I've learned about menopause, the more I realize that I am in control, but only to a certain extent. And then the rest, I just kind of have to wait, and I hope that they get better, the symptoms. Yeah, so my initial GP said, how about, what did he say? Evening primrose oil. And at the time I'm like, I'm pretty sure that I'm past evening primrose oil at this point. So again, I was so ashamed, but I went through, I ended up at hormone therapy. And because I'm a woman of privilege and I know a lot of doctors, I was able to get in and see an endocrinologist. And I got a patch that's like a little, this is the one type of patch, but it's an estrogen patch. So it's 50 milligrams. And I used to take 100 and now I take 50. I just apply that. And I also take micronized progesterone, which is the standard of care for women in menopause who have a uterus. If you are still menstruating, if you still have a uterus, you do need both of those. You cannot just take estrogen patches on their own. So I did end up there, and I'm also on, I've got all these crazy painkillers here. It's actually insane to look at them. So the one I've also ended up is escitalopram, which is for my depression. And I tried a few other ones and they just made me insane. So I now take escitalopram, and I have an estrogen patch, and I have micronized progesterone pills. So that's happening every day for me now. And I would say that's keeping things at bay to a certain extent. I also smoke marijuana. It feels like a treatment to me, just like these other things are. So it may be a point in my life where I don't feel like I need it, but right now it's part of my regimen. No, I don't think the hormone replacement therapy is helping with my anxiety, no. Either that or I'm having severe breakthrough anxiety, and if without it, I would be in the hospital or something, yeah. Right. It might be, it might be. I think part of my anxiety comes from just the world. I've always been a very compassionate person with a very open mind to other people's suffering. And that seems to have gotten worse. I can't, I have to shut the news off. I have to shut the social media off. That's an obvious thing. I think the world's pain just gets more. It feels more intense as I get older. So in terms of hope, I'm not quite there yet. I'm in this funny place. It's called a liminal space. It's in between. And it's kind of an architecture. It's a design concept, but you can also use it in philosophy, psychiatry, all these places. So it's the in-between place. And I'm very much in that place. And I don't think people do that well in this type of place. I think they need the box to be in. And when you're going from one box to the next box, that's very, very disturbing to most people. They don't do well there. And I'm one of them. One thing that I discovered, I've never been into crystals. I think that's pretty clear. I don't love woo. I don't love any of those things. And I discovered these little worry stones, and there's a little thumb hole in them. And I have them all over the place. I have them in my pockets. I give them to friends. My girlfriend of mine is dying of cancer right now. I brought her 2, and so she brings them with her to her appointments. It's sort of an interesting thing to have. I don't know how to describe why it's helpful. It just is. And if it's your little thumb, and you can kind of play with it. And if you play too much with it, your thumb will get sore. I worried my stones so hard some days. Anyways, I don't know. I think it's kind of a non-toxic way to deal with anxiety in the moment and stress in the moment. And I'm always happy when I go into my pocket and one of my rocks is there. It feels like sort of a success. I made a good choice, as silly as that sounds. So yeah, hopefully you don't need the hydromorphone and you can do the worry stone. But if you need the hydromorphone, actually, I don't think I'd do the hydromorphone. I think I would probably try something else way before that. But if you need the HRT and you need the RX, I think that people that are trying to shame us out of it, need to be taken out to the woodshed. It's brutal. Do what you need for your body and for your mind.
Thanks for watching this episode. For more menopause stories like this, subscribe below. And don't forget to click the bell so you are notified when we drop a new episode. Did you connect with this story? Let us know by adding your comment and by sharing and liking it. Shared storytelling helps us learn what's happening to our bodies and reminds us we are not alone.